Hey, it's Eric G. Around the House is sponsored by Baldwin Hardware. For 75 years, Baldwin Hardware has been known for its first-class quality and craftsmanship in door and cabinetry hardware. As an alumnus of the Baldwin Hardware Design Council, I can say I have seen the details and quality from design to the finished product. If you're looking for a new style and old-world craftsmanship, I can tell you there is only one Baldwin Hardware. Check out what would look great in your home at baldwinhardware.com.
It's Around the House.
All right, this next one here, you can make fun of me. I'll take it. All of my contractor friends that have been telling me for probably a decade to get these hammers, okay, I was wrong. I was very wrong. These things are amazing. And what am I talking about? I'm talking about the stiletto hammers. These things, if I would have got this 10 years ago, my elbows and arms would have been in much better shape throwing a hammer around and doing work, because these things are absolutely amazing. And what am I talking about? The stiletto. It's the Tie-Bone Mini 14-ounce face, smoother or waffle face hammer. These things are amazing. And I can't tell you how cool these things are.
When it comes to remodeling and renovating your home, there is a lot to know, but we've got you covered. This is Around the House.
Welcome to the Around the House show. This is where we help you get the most out of your home through information and education. Thanks for joining us today. If this is new to you, head over to aroundthehouseonline.com and you can catch the podcast. You can catch the TV show. Everything is over there in one little location. And you can find all that information aroundthehouseonline.com. And then make sure you head over to Around the House Nation on social media. That's on Facebook. That's our closed group where you can share up your projects and things like that. Well, today, instead of an interview, I wanted to give you kind of an update on products that I've been testing out. Things that I said, wow, this is cool. And stuff that I've been using for more than just like a week. Stuff that I've been, putting through the paces to see if I like it, whether it works or not. And here's a first one here. This is something that I really like when I'm working around doing projects. A good set of earbuds. And Motorola sent me these, and I was a little skeptical. Motorola sound. These are the MotoBud 600 ANC Hybrid ANC True Wireless Earbuds. These things are absolutely amazing. Talk about great audio quality if I'm doing a meeting. They're great. I've used them in some of my TV interviews when I didn't have my IFP. When I'm doing a remote, those work really well. You get really high resolution music and great audio, which I absolutely love. And it has a killer active noise cancellation. And that is a killer deal. And for $150 roughly, it's a good deal. I actually like these more than my Apple Pro earbuds, so I use these a lot. And I tell you what, there are some cool specs on it as well. And they've done really well with me. I've got, sensitive ears, shall we say. And I tell you what, they work well. And the cool thing is I've used them on airplanes. Playtime is about 6 hours. And then the case has about 20 hours of, recharge playtime on it. So when you take them in and out and you're in the airport, you're using them, it's easily last a cross-country flight, no problem. And then the case charges quickly in 2 hours, so it works out really well. So I'm impressed. These have been good. That's the Motorola MotoBud 600 ANC earbuds. Just coming out right now, so I've been playing with these. I tell you what, super cool. Definitely worth $150. And with the noise canceling when you're on a flight or doing anything else around the house, you can shut off a lot of excess noise around you, and that is pretty handy. Now, one thing here I don't want to have to say, but I'm going to say it. None of this is sponsored content. I do not and have not got paid a single dime to review any of these things. These are my honest reviews, so that none of these people have paid me a dime to talk good, bad, or anything else. Many of these, they've sent them to me and said, hey, what do you think? And I'm giving you my honest opinion. So none of this is sponsored content. And this is just stuff, at the most, they sent them to me for me to play around with. And trust me, there's stuff that we're not talking about today that I sent back that I just didn't like. And they don't get me talking about it. But the stuff that I do like, well, we're talking about it today. Now, the next one here is my LG Wash Tower stacked front load washer and dryer. Again, this thing I've had for about 2 years right now. It has worked flawlessly. And, my experience with brands out there, LG, great product. They have been one of the most durable as far as laundry out there, especially compared to some of the Samsung products out there, which, in my experience, last about 3 years before the washer starts coming apart, the cage in the back starts coming apart and things start failing. So LG is probably one of your most, reliable. And of course, if you want to spend $3,000 or $4,000 on a Speed Queen, those are really nice, but that's super heavy duty. If you want to get something that's much more affordable and can go into your house, this LG is really impressive. I've had this, and it's their washer dryer combo. So it looks like a front load washing machine and dryer, but it's one piece, so it's stacked. So it's really clean. I like it because it doesn't take up a lot of space. The other thing I like about them is that with these wash towers is that you have the remote control. So I can sit there, instead of having to go and look and see if my dryer is done or the wash is done, I can look on my phone and say, okay, cool. Then the other thing I like as well with this is I can sit there and take a peek at it and download special settings and put them on it. So if I had, a special towel setting I want or something that's not on the standard control panel, there's a lot of options that you can upload into that washer and dryer basically and run it there. So you have all these specialty settings, which is really cool. But I tell you what, this unit has gone flawlessly for a little over 2 years now. And I was one of the first ones. I got one of the almost pre-production ones. First one here that had gone out to market on this LG wash tower. And for a front load washing machine and dryer, it is working great. The things that I like about it is that it has a great steam function. So when I have dirty stuff to throw in there, it will sanitize it, which is great. It was especially great through COVID. And then as well is it has a really great drum clean function. So when it starts to get a little smelly in there, maybe you left laundry in there for a few days and it smells a little bit musty, you can run it through that. And it uses steam and, of course, the soap that you put in there, and it cleans the inside of the drum. So it's spick and span and clean all over again. So impressive. If you look at the LG website, they're anywhere. Looks like actually right now they've got some special offers on those. You're about $2,000 depending on which one you're looking at. If I look at the one with the gas dryer, it's a little bit more, but LG is saying here that they've got it there for, $1,900 for this for a washer and dryer. I tell you what, solid unit. I'm impressed. Wi-Fi enabled, very cool as far as the smart stuff goes. Very impressed with that product. It is something that I would take a look, and really impressive that it'll take anything I throw at it. And I tell you what, I throw some dirty stuff in there from my DIY projects and projects I'm doing for TV here. I've thrown some nasty stuff in there, and it comes out clean. And being a front load, it's saving you water, and of course, it is using less of the clothing. It's funny, when you take a front load washing machine and a top load, you'll notice when it goes into the dryer that the front load has a lot less wear on your clothes because that agitator's not beating it up so bad. And you get a lot less lint, which means you have cleaner clothes and you're taking less of the clothes off. So it works out pretty good. Your clothes don't get thinner and thinner every time you put them in the dryer. Now, there is a new model out there that I would take a look at. This is the LG wash tower, but it has a heat pump dryer. And so what this does, and now it's about it's another $1,000, so it's something you have to think about. But that heat pump ventless dryer, yes, ventless, it is now going to take that moisture and drop it off and take it out of there. You're not putting it outside, and it's capturing that heat. So it's going to really do a great job of saving you energy. And with that heat pump, it's really cool. So that's actually where you're not using that drying element. So it's going to save you a ton on electricity. And that's pretty impressive. So that is one of those things that you look at, and there's no dryer ducts. So that's really easy to maintain. You don't have to worry about that. So it's impressive. I mean, it's kind of cool that you can get now a heat pump unit that is not venting that back up. It is reusing that heat. So you're not taking that heat and throwing it outside. It's using a heat pump style, so it's going to save you a ton on electricity and not that lint mess. All right, everybody, we'll be right back after these important messages. More of my product reviews just as soon as Around the House returns.
What's up? This is Stick
And Satchel from Steel Panther, and you are listening to
Around the House with Eric G.
Yeah.
We love Eric G, and you should too.
When I'm down, I make a call. Got the number written on the wall. Thoughts busy, then I try again.
Welcome back to the Around the House show. This is where we help you get the most out of your home through information and education. Thanks for joining us today. Hey, make sure you catch over on Around the House online. If you're outside of the Portland metro area, make sure you catch the show Around the House Northwest. You can catch it over there. There's some links on our website. If you're in the Portland metro area and one of the few here catching us here, either on the radio on AM 860 The Answer or the podcast, you can catch my show every single Saturday at 10 a.m. on Fox 12 Plus, which is, the Fox 12 added station that you see here in the Portland market. So not part of the big Fox News thing, but this is your local Fox affiliate. So it's over in Fox 12 Plus. Now, we've been talking about my product reviews of things that I've really liked over this last year that I've been testing. Now, the next one is actually an installation that I did in my first segment of my first show for Around the House Northwest. This is made by High Tech Pet Products. And this is the fully automatic powered pet door. I tell you what, this thing is absolutely amazing. And I did this when I first moved into the house. I put in the magnetic double flap dog doors. So the dogs walk through, they push through it, little magnet in the bottom. I tell you what, it was good, but with high winds and storms, that magnet would get released and you would have air coming right into your house, which, that's not, 2 pieces of plastic is not what I would call very energy efficient. And so it was not the best thing. This thing here for about $399, that's the price today on Chewy.com. You can get it on Amazon, everywhere else. I tell you what, this PX1 powered pet door, dang impressive. And here's what I thought was cool about this, is that this basically plugs into the wall, and it is your Star Trek door for your dogs. It has a hard piece of composite clear plastic that comes down. It is shut and sealed. They show on their website like a flood where water's up against it, and it's solid. So I got the large one for my large dogs, and I tell you what, this thing plugs into the wall. I put it through the wall. And for about $400, this thing works amazing. Now, as I said in the TV segment, the one thing that I say with this is that your dogs might need a little additional training, but it works out really well. It is a motor-driven pet door, which you put a little tag around on their collar. That tag, when you get close and you can adjust the sensitivity, the door opens up so they can walk up. So this is, as they call it, it's made from bulletproof resin with an automatic deadbolt locking feature for superior security against intruders. This is not going to be like Home Alone with Joe Pesci sticking his head through it. Not going to happen. And so you've got a 4-way control without only full access, closed, and locked door options, which is cool. And you can run it from your phone. So if you want to go out and lock the thing while you're out and say, hey, man, the weather's really bad out there, I want to keep the dogs inside, you can lock it from your phone and make sure the dogs don't go outside for a while and keep them out in inclement weather or another situation like lightning or something when you just don't have your dogs outside. So it is airtight, weatherproof, waterproof. And you would have to, I don't know what it would take to kick it out, but I tell you what, man, you would sit there and have to just bash on that thing to get through it. It would be easier to break a window than it would be to get through it. I think I went with the PX2, which is the larger dog version. But I tell you what, you can also get a battery charger pack if it's going to mount on a movable wall or something like that. But that was super impressive. I really like it. That, I think, is the ultimate pet door for your dogs or cats that you want to let outside. And so really good, solid quality, very impressed. And it was definitely worth it. One of my favorite pieces that I've installed this year to make things very easy. And boy, it has changed how my house feels inside. And I know I'm saving a fair amount of energy. And it'll be nice this summer when it's hot outside because I'm not going to have that hot air come blasting inside. And it's one less thing that I have to air condition, and I'm not air conditioning the outside. All right, this next one here, you can make fun of me. I'll take it. All of my contractor friends that have been telling me for probably a decade to get these hammers, okay, I was wrong. I was very wrong. These things are amazing. And what am I talking about? I'm talking about the stiletto hammers. These things, if I would have got this 10 years ago, my elbows and arms would have been in much better shape throwing a hammer around and doing work, because these things are absolutely amazing. And what am I talking about? The stiletto. It's the Tie-Bone Mini 14-ounce face, smooth or waffle face hammer. These things are amazing. And I can't tell you how cool these things are. They are a hammer that you can use day in and day out. You put it in someone's hand and you go, how is this big hammer this light? And it is so cool. It has a magnetic nail starter, stronger prying power than steel. It is something that it's just stunning. There's nothing absolutely like it. So you got a titanium handle with a contour grip, and it has the same hit as a 24-ounce steel hammer, but with 14 ounces. That is a huge difference. And when you're swinging a hammer around all day, there's nothing that fits better in your hand. And you know something? For a couple $100, depending on where you get it, I think I saw it on Amazon for about $227. I get it. They're expensive. But if you're going to be using a hammer and you're going to buy a hammer once, there's a huge difference with these. And I tell you what, your insurance deductible on having to get, elbow and arm surgery because you've been swinging a hammer too much and the jarring on your wrist and elbow. This here is a complete game changer. So when holiday season comes around, you want to get somebody something special. Maybe it's your kid getting into the trades. Maybe it's dad. Maybe it's your wife. Maybe it's your husband or significant other. This would be a great gift because I tell you what, these are game changers. And I'm sorry I was late to the game on this one, guys. I know I'm going to have people out there rolling their eyes going, how come it took you so long to come along to these? Yeah, they were cool until I got one in my hands and then really played around with it. And my other hammers, no need for those. This is the only way to fly. And yes, I do understand that for 20 or 25 bucks, I can go down to my Home Depot store and get a decent Crescent or Milwaukee or Stanley, Husky framing hammer, and they're going to get the job done. Absolutely. But if you want something that's going to be easy to use and is going to make it where you can frame hammers and use that hammer all day long, and you are going to take this seriously and you have some big projects out there, there is no way I would not go that direction. And that's going to save you a lot of energy, and it's going to be a lot smarter on your body. So it's something you buy it once. It's like many of the power tools. You can go get that really, really cheap power tool, or you can buy the good one, and that's going to last you so much longer. And that's where some of these things can save you in the long run. You can buy that hammer, and guess what? Even if you wear out the head on it, you can get another head on it, and you still have an amazing hammer. And that's why you spend a little bit more. All right, when we come back, I've got a lot more for you just as soon as Around the House returns.
Hey, this is Ron Keel, the Metal Cowboy from Keel, the Ron Keel Band and Steeler. We are rocking Around the House with Eric G.
Welcome back to the Around the House show. This is where we help you get the most out of your home through information and education. Thanks for joining us today. I've been talking about things that, products that I absolutely love out there that have passed my testing that I've been playing around with. And it could be anything from those Motorola earbuds to the latest in hammers to that smart dog door that I was just talking about. Next up here is a game changer for me because this actually saved me thousands of dollars. And it also kept me from having 2 elbow surgeries that my doctor was saying that I needed to have. And what is that? A new mattress. Yes. When I would, personal information here, guys, I would go to sleep every night, and a couple hours later, I would wake up with my wrist in hand completely asleep. I would roll over to the other side, same thing would happen. I have had MRIs, I have had nerve tests, I have had all this stuff. I've gone to physical therapy. Nothing made it better. The next step was going to go in and maybe do some surgery on my elbow to see if that was where the pinched nerve was. What fixed it? My dang mattress. Yes, I replaced my mattress about 2 weeks ago. And guess what? My hands have not gone asleep ever since. Period. End of story. And I'm getting a much better night's sleep. How did I find this place? I was actually out looking for a segment here in Portland for my Made in Northwest. I wanted to find somebody that would make mattresses. And I found this little warehouse called Mattress Warehouse USA. And the good news is here, you're like, it's a mattress company in Portland. They ship all around the U.S., so they can ship it to you. So this is what's cool. I went down there and watched. Here's what's cool. This is what's awesome about this building. It was built as a 1950s VW Bug dealership. So in the 50s, it was a VW Bug dealership. So in the back, which is what used to be the service bays, which is maybe only 3 or 4 bays, they have 4 or 5 guys back there that are handcrafting mattresses. So I literally went in there. We did the segment. I was like, wow, these guys are cool. I brought Julie in on Saturday after I'd done the segment, went and took a look, tried out mattresses, and went, wow, this is freaking amazing. This is what I'm looking for. Monday morning, they made me the custom mattress and had it out at my house Monday afternoon. Now, of course, if you're living on the East Coast, you're going to have to be able to have that shipped across country, but it's really not that big a deal. And if you're in the Pacific Northwest, it's super easy. But I tell you what, watching them make out of, 95% made in USA parts, anywhere they could get it, and handcrafting it, I tell you what, it's amazing. Well, the cool part here with these guys is that they build custom-sized mattresses. So if you've got an RV, great example, in the Benson Hotel here in Portland, downtown Portland, we have the Portland Trailblazers here, which are our NBA team. They had to make a whole floor. They have a floor there for the teams that come in. They have special 8-foot beds, so when the visiting teams come in, they can stay there and have special beds to sleep in. So they have all these 8-foot beds. They made custom mattresses for them for the NBA. So here's the deal that I thought was really cool. They build those mattresses there, and they can build them for you custom, whatever else, and they'll ship them out. And it was cost effective. From what I would have bought, I would have paid probably $6,000 for the mattress that would have cost me $2,500 here buying a brand name. So very impressed with what these guys are doing. And nicest people I've ever worked with as well. And find out more, go to mattresslw.com. So mattresslw.com. And they are not paying me to say this. So this is one of those things that I tell you what, hopefully there'll be an advertiser in the radio show or podcast here soon, but we're talking about that. But I tell you what, these guys here, I believe in it. And that's the place to get a mattress. And yeah, they will ship that across country for you if you need it. And talk about quality and craftsmanship. I love something watching being made, handmade. That's the place to get it. Next up here, we're going to get into smart home tech, and we're going to talk about Oro light switches here. ORRO. and their website is getoro.com. You know, these are really cool light switches, and I'll be honest, I've had a few little mixed reviews of I'm probably not using it in the perfect situation. So this is a smart light switch, and so what it does, it is the Oro Smart Living System, is that they call it. It mounts in just like any other light switch, and it looks like one of the Decora-style things, but what it has is it has a sensor, so it's sensing the light, it's sensing your movement, it's listening to you as far as noises, and it's meant to predict when you walk into a room, how much light you need, and it machine learns kind of how you use it. And so it's meant to kind of work off your, you know, our lighting affects how we sleep, right? And so artificial light does confuse your body clock. So this here is designed to work within that. And so it's meant to follow, you know, your kind of, you know, natural lighting cycle that you would see from the sun. And so you can wake up softly. It can be brightest during the middle of the day, and then in the evening, it's going to wind you down a little bit, which is really cool. The issue that I have with it is I have put it in maybe a couple locations that I tested that I'm going to have to move out of that didn't make sense. So great example. I put it in my master closet because when I walk in there and I've got clothes, the location of that switch, it is sensitive enough that if I get up in the middle of the night to do something at like 2:00, get a glass of water or something like that, it senses me and automatically turns on the closet because the closet is just far enough away that it sees and hears me. And at 2:00 in the morning, even though I'm 12 feet away, it is kind of seeing me. And so it's turning that light on. So I have to go over and turn that light off every time. But is it better used in another room? Yeah. Bathroom? Absolutely. Works great there. Would it be better in the kitchen? Absolutely there. But that's kind of where the issue is maybe when I don't want the lights to come on, using it in a bedroom or using it in my, in my closet, probably not the best thing. I'm going to try reprogramming it. It could be some operator error there, but it is a great switch. But I think application is key with that because it does have the sensors built in, and it does work well that way with its onboard intelligence. I think, though, the problem that I run into is that, with the Oro One is that I think it's just that it's trying to anticipate me walking into the closet when I'm heading to the bathroom or heading to the kitchen at 2:00 in the morning. Then it's turning on the light, which is not great for Julie because guess what? Nobody wants the light turned on. Even though it's turning on to a low light, it's turning on to the lowest sense. I don't need that light to come on. I know where I'm navigating. I don't need to have that on. The dogs are out of the way. So it's just one of those things that, I'm probably going to have to play around with a little bit more. So I'm going to give this one a review, but I'm using it in probably the wrong application. And it's something that, we can talk a little bit more about after I move it and see what happens. I've got some other switches I'm going to try on there and see if that makes a difference. All right. When we come back here, I have got two products that are great safety things. And then one thing here, too, that's going to save you a ton of money that I have been so impressed with that I tell you what, it has been working so well. And one is going to be safety here, and two is going to be something that could really put a few $100 back in your pocket this year. We'll talk about that just as soon as Around the House returns. Make sure you catch us on social media, Facebook and Instagram. Just look for Around the House Show or Around the House Northwest. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the Around the House Show. This is where we help you get the most out of your home through information and education. Thanks for joining us today. Well, I've been giving you some of my reviews of my long-term products I've been testing around my house. You know, my house is one big test bed where I get stuff in here and I play around with it and I see what works and, quite frankly, what doesn't. One of my favorite things that I'm playing around with right now that has been in my house now for a couple years that is saving me a boatload of money is my Bradford White heat pump water heater. This is those new hybrid water heaters. I had a 40-gallon gas water heater, and it was probably costing me $350 a year because it was an older one to heat water. That's about what it was costing. And now that was a 40-gallon heater. Now I have changed over to an electric heat pump that is 80 gallons, and that is saving me about $200 a year. And I get a lot more water heating out of it. And here's why. This is a great example. So my daughter had her friends over here last weekend. Now, this is what's cool is, you know, they're 20-something-year-olds. They've been staying at the hotel. Do they want to take a shower there? No, they're going to come over and use my steam shower and really have an enjoyable shower experience. And as a father, for them wanting to come over and do that, I absolutely love it. Great. So her and her 3 other friends, boyfriend, 2 other friends come over here and they all take showers. So Julie had taken a shower and then I had 4 other people. So 5 people. We did not run out of hot water. And here's why. I have it running in heat pump mode, which means it's using only 500 watts of electricity to heat the water. But it's a slower process, right? It's not going to be like that instant on from an electric element or gas. But it's also a hybrid. So when it says, uh-oh, we are using hot water like nobody's business, it will go into putting the elements on and using the hybrid where it's also doing it both ways. So that's what's cool with that. It is awesome. So what I'm stoked about with this whole thing is that it kept up to 5 people taking solid showers. And it's saving me a ton of money. There is no way that 40-gallon gas water heater that I had that was 12 years old was going to keep up with that. Probably person 2, I'd have been done for. And I have low flow heads and everything else in there, but it's just designed out right. But I tell you what, that saved me a ton of money and we never ran out of hot water. It just kept cruising. And because it had the 80-gallon capacity, it had enough power to, keep that going. So in a large family situation, if you would have been doing a tub or something else like that and somebody would have jumped in a shower, it wouldn't have been a big deal. It would have jumped into hybrid mode and taken care of it. So that to me, super impressive. I'm very happy. It has been there for a couple of years. It has not let me down. So that one has been going really well. I'm very, very impressed. Next up here is a couple safety things. One is Ting Labs. Ting is my smart home sensor that plugs into my electrical outlet. It measures electricity and the sounds that happen with it. So what it does is Ting, you can find it at tingfire.com. This is electrical fire safety simplified. Ting helps you prevent the electrical fires before they happen to keep your happy, your family, home, and and everything else safe, right? It's just going to do that. It won the 2021 Best of the Smart Home Awards, and in 2022 got the Good Housekeeping Home Reno Award as well. So pretty incredible. All you do is plug it in the wall, and it really takes a look at, it's aware, it's detecting things in your house. So it's quietly watching over your entire home and detects hazards that lead to the most devastating fires. So that sensor sees what we can't see, which is super cool. And they have a repair hazard insurance there as well. They coordinate the process, and you're covered up to $1,000 for the electrical repair, which is pretty cool. Now, here's one other tip. Contact your home insurance company. This is one of those things where that insurance company might cover this for you for free, because that's how good this is. So before you spend the money on one, make sure and take a look. The other thing that's cool is it's plug and play. Plug it in the wall, set up the Wi-Fi to it, put the app on your phone. and it is continuous hazard detection. And it's smart, and it will tell you, like, when your power goes out, it will tell you if you have issues, and that app features are there to keep you informed. So it's always having an electrician in your home 24/7 watching your electrical system. And it's also going to tell you if you have power quality issues as well. Maybe you're getting low voltage or over voltage. It's going to tell you what you have. And free lifetime sensor replacement. If something fails, they will send you a new one without an issue. Next up, I'll say I'm not the biggest fan of the Google Nest products. Not my favorite. But my favorite that they have is the Google Nest Protect smoke alarm, smoke detector, and carbon monoxide detector. This is an amazing piece that you should have in your home. And I get it. It's $119 on Amazon if you go get it. And I think that price is same everywhere. There's a couple things that I like. One, it is a smart detector in that it will tell you on your phone when it give you a message that there's a problem. With the smoke and the CO locator, Nest Protect speaks up if there's smoke or CO and tells you where it is so you know what to do. So here's what's cool about this. It doesn't just go off like the dumb ones we have in our house where it's like, beep, 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 beep. And you're like, where's that coming from? This will tell you that there's smoke detected before it goes off. So if you're cooking in the kitchen and it says, warning, smoke sensed, it's spool enough to go off. What's cool about that is that then if you forgot to turn on the vent fan or need to turn it up, you have that opportunity. So what's cool is that this is smart. And if you're traveling or you're out of the house, or maybe the kids are home and you've got the teenagers at home and you're out at the store or out at the movies, that alert comes up on your phone. So you don't even have to be home for that to go off. So if you've got pets at home or something's going off, you can know about things before the fire department ends up showing up when your neighbors call. So this is the cool thing, is it is communicating to you that you've got a problem just as soon as it starts. So as soon as it senses it, it's telling you on the phone, and then you can turn it off as well. So it's got a little light on it, which is cool. I really like how this thing works. And so it's got a very fast detection. It tells you, and it has that split spectrum sensor. So it's looking for fast and slow burning fires. So very intelligent, hooks right into your Wi-Fi system. It is something that I've had here, and it is something, it's expensive. Again, I had to buy these. Google Nest Protect doesn't give you these even to test, but to me, it was really worthwhile. And you could also silence it really easy. So if you knew that you made a mistake, like you burnt your toast in the morning or something, it is a good way to go. And it is expensive, but I tell you what, when it comes to safety gear, I don't complain about paying a little bit more if I get the function out of it. And this is one of those, and I think is really cool. So it's something to think about. And if you've got other Google Nest products, it will work with those, which is cool. So, it's got the voice alert, so that way you can handle things before it goes. And it's a 10-year carbon monoxide sensor. So this works for 10 years. And by that time, they'll have, of course, new stuff out there. But it is really easy to hook up, simple setup, and just put it in the Nest app so you get that worry-free installation on it. It's something really cool. Hey, if you've got a product that you want me to take a look at, if you're a manufacturer, or if you have a question about it to see if I like it or if I have played with it, head over to AroundTheHouseOnline.com. Send me a message over there, or shoot me something over on Facebook, Around the House Show, or you can find me over on Twitter as well. Send me a message and see if it's something that I want to take a look at, or if I've played with to get my opinion on it. I'm here to help you with everything around your house. Now, we've got a great show coming up here this next weekend, and you can't wait to see what's on the TV show. We've got a great one here that airs this weekend, and I tell you what, I'll give you this one here. We found a boot company that hand makes boots that'll last you your lifetime, and if you wear through them after 20 years, you can send them back, and they'll rebuild them so much cheaper than if you actually bought new ones. All that and more on the TV show. Head over to Around the House Online, and you can see it there. Thanks for listening to Around the House. We'll see you next weekend.
Somewhere unseen. discovered. Anywhere beyond the mean. Life is a love song, let's be lovers. We're all over the radio. Take my hand, I know where to go. All over the radio with you.
Hey, it's Eric G. from Around the House. Are you planning a decking or siding project this year? If you are, you've got to check out my friends at Millboard. Millboard is a completely different kind of composite decking and cladding that enhances outdoor spaces with enduring distinction. Hand-molded from the finest oak, it realistically mimics the natural grain and color of premium hardwood. If you're looking for something that doesn't look like plastic and instead real wood, check out millboard.com. Make sure and check out that interview we did just a few weeks back. That's millboard.com.